Yo, what is going on, YouTube? My name is Billy TKO. If you guys are new here, definitely be sure to like, subscribe. We go to a different stratosphere. Guys, Vince McMahon, scared out of his mind. Truth be told, it's that simple. He's scared out of his mind. Also, we crowned a new champion on Monday Night Raw last night, and on top of that, we have a Jimmy Uso update. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing all of that good stuff. So without further ado, let's hop directly into the video. And let's kick things off with the story that you're probably here for, and that's Vince. Yes, Vince McMahon is completely terrified. Vince McMahon yesterday put out a statement in regards of the Netflix documentary. Now, a lot of people had speculated that this documentary was going to be like almost like a marshmallow. It was going to be very deflated, not what it should be. Because for a long time, that's what we expected from documentaries in WWE. This is a Netflix documentary, which means, and my guess is, that they are going to dive into a much deeper side of who Vince McMahon or Mr. McMahon is. Because in this statement, I'm not going to read the statement off or anything like that. I will have it on the side of me, so you guys are more than welcome to, look at and read it for yourself. But ultimately, really what Vince was saying is that this is, they use like editing tricks to pretty much say that I'm Mr. McMahon and Vince McMahon they're not the same, or they are the same person. And rightfully so. Obviously, we understand that Vince has a storied past, and it's horrible. It really is. Like, there's so much when you think about Vince or Mr. McMahon, whoever you want to think about. Regardless, it's horrible. This guy had so much power, and it finally got stripped from him. And now he doesn't know what to do with himself, and now people are putting him in question. He really doesn't know what to do with himself. So good on Netflix if you did cover everything. I know Janelle Grant's lawyer had came out and she had said a few things that, Janelle Grant was no longer going to be silenced, and she's going to have her day in court, rightfully so, considering everything that happened. But ultimately, Vince is a horrible human. Like, there's no denying that. And Netflix has obviously portrayed something to where it's got him scared out of his mind. He's trying to soften the load of what's going to come tomorrow when it drops. Which, if you guys don't know, Mr. McMahon, the documentary, it's a 6-part series. Drops tomorrow on Netflix. So it'll be out on the 25th, Wednesday, for you guys to go check out. But ultimately, they have Vince in his boots shaking. He's nervous. He doesn't know what to do with himself. I want to get your guys' thoughts down below. Do you guys think that Vince is going to lose his mind when this comes out? Do you think that Netflix told this story the right way? I'm very interested to get your guys' thoughts. Obviously, we won't know until tomorrow if this was told correctly. On top of that, guys, I want to get your thoughts on whether you think that, are you excited for it? Are you wanting to see what is to come? Because I know me personally, I am. But I'm not going to spend all day talking about this because I really could. I could go on and on and on about Vince McMahon or Mr. McMahon, whoever, because I have my own personal thoughts. But we are going to move on, and we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw last night and the crowning of a new singles champion, and that is no other than Jey Uso. Yes, guys, last night Jey Uso defeated Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, which after 14 years would mark Jey Uso's first singles championship. He's never won one in the WWE, and it was his time. I know a lot of people feel some type of way about Braun Breaker losing, but I think when you think about the hard work and the dedication that goes into a lot of this, the Intercontinental Championship is a workhorse championship. So whether Braun Breaker held it for 1 month or 2 years, regardless, him losing it isn't a big deal. Because that title is supposed to be the traveling championship. It moves around. So Jey Uso is finally getting his due. Now a lot of people have speculated, well, what's going to happen? Is he going to go back to SmackDown with Sammy? Are they going to go be a part of the Bloodline again? And truth be told, I think there's a much deeper story going on with Randy, Kevin, Cody, and Roman all playing a part in something. Something just feels weird over there on SmackDown. So I think you can leave Jay and Sammy on Raw and let them continue to do their thing, and I think that's why ultimately you had Jey Uso win the Intercontinental Championship. I'm super excited for the guy. I really am. You want to talk about somebody who is just deserving of something? Jey Uso is like the epitome of, oh, this guy deserves it. You could look at him. Look at his entrances. Look at the way the people love him. You didn't have to do too much for Jey Uso. Like, he did it himself. He worked hard. And I love a story of working hard. And like you seen on Twitter, all the people showing him love. Cody Rhodes showed him love. Rhea Ripley showed him love. Damian Priest showed him love. There were so many people. Wade Barrett couldn't believe what had transpired in California, which, by the way, he wanted in his home state. That's like another thing. So yeah, ultimately, it's just so nice to see Jay get his due. Really, it really is. But I do want to go ahead and move on to the next and final story. And I want to talk about Jimmy Uso. There's not much to it, but ultimately, we got a report from Fightful. And apparently Talent had texted Jimmy, and he had responded with, hey, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. Now, a lot of people, like myself, speculated what was going on with Jimmy. Where is he at? Why is he not showing up? But I think when you look at the deeper side of this, and again, we put into question everything going on with Jay on Raw, Jimmy right now might not be needed in that bloodline story. I know that's a wild thought because it's Jimmy. But, you know, the same way we're questioning Jimmy, we're not questioning Paul. Like, oh, where's Paul? Obviously, we're worried about Jimmy's mental health and things of that nature, which rightfully so. I love the fact that we as a community care so much about this guy and like what he has going on. But ultimately, it could just be as simple as like, hey, we have no use for you right now until we're ready to bring you back, which could be, you know, if we're looking at War Games with Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns in that match taking on the new bloodline, I do feel like we might be missing an opportunity here, but ultimately it depends on the story you want to tell, right? We really have to put that into perspective because you could wait to do the old bloodline, the new bloodline later down the line. You really could. But ultimately you have to get there at some point. Now, when you get there, that's the question of the hour. None of us really know. But really, I cannot wrap my head around, like, just we need to just let these guys tell these stories and let them do it their way. Because ultimately, that is what is working in the WWE. So, yeah, no, Jimmy is perfectly fine. At least that's what he says, which is a good thing. We obviously love hearing that good news about Jimmy Uso. I want to say that is all I got for you guys today. So, yeah, the Intercontinental Championship, Jimmy Uso and Vince McMahon. News is flowing out. We got NXT tonight. Other than that, guys, I want to say that is all I got, and I will be talking to you later. TikTok, Discord, Twitter, down below. Like, subscribe, go to different stratosphere. I'll be talking to you later. Peace.